Very good, everyone. FedEx reported a wonderful profit yesterday, but this profit didn't come, or rather, caused the shares to plummet quite a bit yesterday. What happened to these shares? Why do markets fall after a company reports profit well above expectations? That is what I will show you in this video. But first, let's look at the numbers. We have a company here that released its results, revenue of $25 billion. That is a 12% increase from last year, earnings per share of $6.31, expected was $5.92. The operating margin rose by 8%, also significantly above what the market expected. Here is the good part. The adjusted cash flow increased by $800 million from the previous year. Basically, 20% more cash generated by the company compared to the previous year, okay? So basically, it was indeed a huge result. When we look at the company, it is a company that pays little dividend, normal for large American companies, 1.54%, and has good liquidity. Average financial, 1.91 million shares, okay? So what do we have? We have a relatively good number indeed when we look a little deeper at these balance sheets. With the balance sheet view, we can understand the differences here. So we have growth in the operating margin, we have the net result, we have a very interesting revenue growth. So we have a quite powerful market until now. But then you must be wondering, okay, Gustavo, you understand charts, you want to show us the price direction, explain the reason for this by looking at the charts. And that is what I will do. First of all, it is good to always highlight, look how wonderful. On July 21st, guys, we told our clients that FedEx was showing buying pressure and the stock could rise. And look how interesting, from there until the high that was last week, it had a 76% rise. So this is another point that, thank God, we got the trend reversal right. That it was in a downtrend, then our radar signaled this, and look, rising 75%. Since then, let's think with the head of an investor who has 75% profit in their pocket. What will the investor do? Look, I think it is time for me to take profits, and when we have an operation that shows us significant rise like this, and it still came with a huge opportunity because of the good balance sheet, what do people often think? Look, there is still a good balance sheet. You know something? I will take this profit, put it in my pocket while the company is booming. Let me sell a part. And this was not just today because FedEx's results came out yesterday. But since last week, anticipating even a little, its shares have fallen 7% so far. Should you despair? No, it is not time to despair. Why? Because it is still working in its uptrend. It is correcting to its fair price for the week, so it only becomes a bit worrying if it loses the $300 here. Meanwhile, the trend continues within its natural evolution. That is, the results were good, yes. This was a reason for people who had money invested to realize their profit from the point we signaled rising 75%. Wonderful. And that is it, guys. So we have here a broader view. We still have an uptrend, but it is correcting. Is it worth buying now? Who didn't buy? No, you have to buy closer to 306, 307. But when it gets here, it needs a reanalysis, okay? So this is the point that we, for those who didn't get in, need to analyze. What is this reanalysis? It is when it gets here, and buying pressure comes like these from these weeks here, okay? Meanwhile, let the stock correct. Great results. It is in an uptrend. Let it correct in peace, and it may be that we have a good opportunity very soon. God bless you all. A hug. Bye-bye.